The Garden of the Heart. Alara stood before the shimmering gate of the Garden of the Heart. She carried a heavy satchel of questions and a silver lantern that flickered with curiosity. This was not a garden of roses or daisies, but a mystical landscape where feelings grew like ancient trees and the air hummed with secrets. Alara took a deep breath, adjusted her pack, and stepped through the ivy-covered archway, ready to meet the guardians of this inner world. The path turned a vibrant, burning red as Alara encountered Pyros. He was a giant figure with hair like flickering embers, stomping his feet and shouting at a broken fence. "It's not fair," he roared, his voice trembling with a sense of powerlessness. Alara approached him gently. "Pyros, your anger is a signal that a boundary was crossed," she explained. "You feel weak because you are blaming others. Reclaim your power, Pyros. Stop the blame and set your boundary firm." Pyros stopped shouting and began to rebuild his fence with steady, strong hands. As Alara moved deeper, the air grew thick with a swirling gray mist. A small, fluttering creature named Quiver darted around her head, his wings vibrating with a nervous hum. "What if we get lost? What if the path ends?" Quiver squeaked. Alara sat on the mossy ground. "Quiver, you are living in a future that hasn't happened yet because you don't trust the journey," she said softly. "Come back to the now. Ground yourself in the earth and focus only on the very next step." Quiver landed on Alara's knee, his wings finally stilling as he felt the cool moss. Near a dark, still pond, Alara found Menda. She was draped in a heavy gray cloak, dragging a long chain of stones. "I am a bad person," Menda whispered, her eyes filled with self-judgment. Alara knelt beside her. "Menda, your guilt means you acted out of alignment with your soul's integrity. But you are not your mistake." Alara helped Menda lift one of the stones. "Acknowledge what happened, make amends where you can, and practice radical self-forgiveness. Only then can you move forward." As Menda nodded, the heavy stones began to sprout tiny, white flowers. A gentle, rhythmic rain began to fall as Alara met Thalassa, who sat beneath a weeping willow tree. Thalassa held a locket to her chest, her face wet with tears. "I have lost everything," she sighed, clinging to the past. Alara sat beside her in the rain. "Grief is the recognition of deep love, Thalassa. You feel pain because of attachment, but love is never truly lost. Allow your heart to break open. Use this energy to deepen your compassion for every living thing that breathes." Thalassa looked up, her eyes clearing as she watched the rain nourish the thirsty garden. In a valley filled with mirrors, Alara met Zelos. He was staring at a bright, golden fruit hanging high in a tree across the river. "I will never have what they have," Zelos hissed, his skin a pale shade of emerald. Alara looked at the fruit and then back at Zelos. "This is just a mirror of your own potential, Zelos. You feel scarcity, but there is enough for everyone. Bless the other person for showing you what is possible. If they can reach it, so can you." Zelos took a breath, and his green tint faded as he began to weave a ladder. Under the thick shadows of a thorny hedge, Alara found a tiny figure named Shah. Shah was trying to bury herself in the dirt, hiding her face. "I am a mistake," Shah whimpered, disconnected from everything. Alara crawled under the hedge and wrapped her arms around the small girl. "You are never a mistake, Shah. Shame thrives in the dark, but it cannot survive the light. Bring it out. Voice it. Once you are seen and loved, the shame will vanish." As Shah whispered her secret to Alara, the thorns on the hedge turned into soft, velvet leaves. The path became flat and gray as Alara reached a dusty clearing. Oti sat on a rock, staring at a blank stone wall. "Nothing is interesting," Oti sighed, his shoulders slumped in stagnation. Alara noticed a tiny, iridescent beetle crawling near Oti's foot.